What's up, guys? So we are coming off of a preseason game on Friday where the Jaguars went out and played the Cleveland Browns, and we left that game actually feeling pretty good about our Jaguars. I mean, the ones on each side of the ball did pretty well, and it was pretty exciting to see. I know we're gonna see, it's crazy right now. I'm feeling good about the team, and all these Browns fans are on my recap video. Oh, Amari Cooper was out. Oh, this guy was out. It's like, look, we played what was out in front of us, and the Jaguars actually did pretty well. So granted, we had some guys out too, but we go away from this game feeling pretty good about what we saw from the Jaguars. Of course, there's stuff to work on, but overall, some players stood up. There were a couple players that were a little bit disappointing, and we're going to talk about it all right here as we discuss players that are trending up and players that are trending down for these Jaguars. Now, one guy that is trending up is wide receiver Zay Jones. Now, like I said, Christian Kirk was out this game. He's just a little bit hobbled, so the Jaguars decided to let him rest. So when it comes to really just seeing some of our new wide receivers go out there and play and receiving targets, Zay Jones was amongst that list. We've been hearing good stuff about Zay Jones really during training camp. But the thing about Zay Jones is he's played in the NFL for like 7 or 8 years. So, it's really hard to expect like great things from him. But really seeing him out there, man, he looked really good. I mean, he had 4 targets, hauled in 2 receptions, and had 47 yards receiving. The first play of the game went right to him on like a 32-yard tossed by Trevor Lawrence. And look, he's out there. He's speedy. He was kind of out there getting open. I know one play, man, one throw that Trevor Lawrence had, it was in the corner of the end zone, and Zay Jones got his arm barred basically, so he couldn't go up and really grab it with 2 hands, and the refs missed a pass interference call. But man, if Zay Jones somehow hauled that one in, that would have been, I think everybody around the NFL probably would have been talking about him. But maybe for us fantasy football players, maybe it's best that he didn't hold that one in, so maybe we can kind of steal him later on. And in fantasy football, as most guys are going to try to grab Travis Etienne and Christian Kirk, we can get Zay Jones toward the end of the draft. So yeah, Zay Jones looked speedy out there. I know a lot of us wonder why the heck we let go of DJ Chark, but I mean, Zay Jones went in there and filled in pretty nicely, and I'd like to see the Jaguars continue to kind of give him some work, and I'm excited to see, I guess, what the Jaguars have in mind for being able to, get this guy out there for the Jags. Now, one guy that is trending down is left guard Tyler Shatley. He missed a couple blocks, and one of the main ones was like the one time that Trevor Lawrence did get hit. He got almost sacked before Trevor Lawrence got rid of the ball, but Tyler Shatley missed a block and basically blew up the whole entire play. And, I'm kind of sitting here wondering, like, I was like, why is Tyler Shatley, why did he just get given the left guard job? I mean, we don't have like Ben Barch out there competing with him. I was kind of confused on that. But then I kind of had a revelation that, look, the Jaguars' priority right now, I think their main priority on the offensive line for week 1 is getting center Luke Fortner up to speed. Luke Fortner was a 3rd-round pick out of Kentucky, and he was essentially given the starting center job. So I think right now what's best for his development is that, look, he has all-pro, Pro Bowl right guard Brandon Sheriff right next to him, and right to the left of him you have Tyler Shatley, who not only brings a lot of NFL experience, I think he's going into his 9th NFL season, but he also played the same exact position as Luke Fortner just a year before. So he has a whole bunch of wisdom to the left and right of him. And I think right now it's probably not good to have this rotation going on to the left of him. So he can get the communication good. He can kind of say, okay, what happened there? He can bounce ideas off the two. But I do think eventually during the season, Tyler Shatley will probably start week 1, maybe week 2. But I think as Luke Fortner gets more comfortable, I think they're probably going to maybe have Ben Barch kind of come in there and play a little bit more at left guard. Just seems like Ben Barch has just a higher ceiling than Tyler Shatley. And but the good thing about Tyler Shatley is he is like that swing interior offensive lineman. If Luke Fortner goes down, that's where Tyler Shatley will go in. I imagine if right guard Brandon Sheriff goes down, then that's going to be Tyler Shatley's role, assuming that he's going to be a backup eventually. But Tyler Shatley didn't seem great this game. Now, maybe I'm nitpicking, but you gave up an almost sack in the first quarter. I'm putting Tyler Shatley on this one. Now, one guy that is trending up is Chad Muma. I know a lot of people talked a little bit bad about him during the Raiders game. I thought it was a little bit overblown, but I mean, he looked really good this game. He's really fast, and he has a real good knack for just getting around blockers and just locating the ball. He really shows off speed, and I like Chad Muma this game. I mean, he had one really good tackle in the backfield where he just came across the field and, got a guy for a big-time loss. So that's what you want out of your linebackers, man. You want guys that are instinctual. You want guys to identify stuff quick, and that is exactly what it feels like Chad Muma is doing. Now, one guy that is trending down is safety Daniel Thomas. Now, Daniel Thomas has been on the Jaguars for a couple of years, I believe dating back to 2020, and he's always kind of been a special teams guy, and I've always kind of liked him. But this game when he was out there playing safety, man, like he had one terrible angle, once the starters left the field that allowed a huge run. He had one really embarrassing missed tackle. And really, I mean, the Jaguars have a pretty crowded safety group right now. So he is definitely playing for a roster spot. And, he's one guy that I kind of have trending down after this one. You got to probably get better production out of him. But at the same time, we're not relying on him to be like a starter by any means. So, we'll leave it at that, I guess. Next up, I have trending up is how about we give it to Travis Etienne? I mean, this is really because Travis Etienne, he played like a couple of games last preseason, but like he never really got the ball. So really, this is the first time Travis Etienne had any kind of a workload since the Clemson Ohio State game from like, what was it, 2020? Yeah, I mean, he hasn't had any work in a long time. So in this game, 9 carries, 23 yards, 1 reception for 10 yards. I mean, it wasn't the best numbers, but and he's got to work on some stuff a little bit. But I was impressed by the guy isn't like huge or anything, but he showed some good physicality. He broke a couple tackles on one run. He's got really good contact balance. And he obviously also has speed and he can kind of juke. I mean, I was never someone when I looked at him on Clemson, I'm like, oh, this guy's Fred Taylor. And I know that's still exaggeration, but he kind of had some of those similar moves as Fred Taylor. So it was fun to watch him in that role. And I look forward to really just being able to watch more of Travis Etienne throughout the, as the season comes up and as, we get a couple more preseason games in here. So that was exciting. Now, trending down, I have this one, another running back, but Snoop Conner. I mean, he's been less than impressive. I think the week 1 game, he had like 4 carries for 10 yards. Then this game, 7 carries for 21 yards. He just hasn't he's had the ball a few times. He just hasn't shown anything to me. Not like breaking tackles, not making a move on anybody. And at running back, I mean, you have like undrafted guys that are kind of making some impressive stuff, but I haven't seen anything out of Snoop Conner, which could be kind of concerning because look, if James Robinson isn't ready to go week 1, this guy at the moment is our running back 2, so maybe the Jaguars have to start looking for some help at running back. And I don't mean like going out and trading for anybody, but maybe checking out the Jaguars have first priority on the waivers, so maybe checking out what clears on the waivers. But that's one that I haven't been super impressed by Snoop Conner, but he's going to keep getting opportunities, so we will see. Now, last player I have, we end these on a positive note. I have trending up is Trayvon Walker. Trayvon, still trying to get that name right. Trayvon Walker. He was, again, a disruptive force. I mean, he was working the left tackle. One time he should have had a sack on Watson, but the left tackle had to do everything he could to make sure that he did not hit Watson, so he drew a holding penalty. He also helped cause a fumble. I mean, him and Rayshon Jenkins kind of came in there and like popped out a fumble. So, I mean, he continues to just look... just look like a beast. I mean, I'm so excited to see his development because, man, if he can keep developing his pass rushing moves, I mean, we have an absolute animal at that spot. And he's just really fun. He's a pleasure to watch. And he's going to be a pleasure to hopefully continue to see like progress as the preseason and season goes on. So that's what I have for this one. I know a couple notes. A few guys got cut today to bring the roster from 90 to 85 guys. I wasn't going to make a whole video on that, but we'll go ahead and mention Jake Luton has been cut. gosh, it was a terrible preseason to watch him. I mean, I don't know what got into him, but the Jaguars cut him. They also cut Slaughter last week. So outside of Trevor Lawrence, the only guy with any preseason play is like CJ Beathard, who only played a couple of games. So I don't know. We all know Trevor Lawrence goes down, we're in trouble. It's not anything new, but yeah, those are a couple of notes. Let me know what you guys think. And with all that said, go Jaguars.
Okay, Jacksonville Jaguars. Too much for your crew to handle. Keep it lit, and this is the #1 YouTube channel by UCF Jaguar. Yeah, we about to blast off. If you've been a fan, then this is the dopest platform. Yeah, never hold back. Gotta represent for the teal and black.